I pretended to be asleep and heard her whisper, "He's paying the bills until Ryan's ready." I played dumb, smiled through it, and invited her, her side guy, and her best friend to the same dinner. At 7:45 p.m., their phones all buzzed, and that's when her world fell apart. She thought she was using me. She had no idea I was setting her up the whole time. You ever get that gut feeling something's off, but you can't quite explain it? Yeah, that was me for weeks. My girlfriend, let's call her Emily, had been acting weird lately. I wouldn't call it cold, but she wasn't exactly warm either. Kinda like living with a roommate who sometimes wants to cuddle. She still smiled, still laughed at my dumb jokes, still kissed me goodnight. But it all started to feel a little off script, if that makes sense. I chalked it up to stress. I just picked up more shifts at work to cover some stuff. Mostly her stuff, if I'm being honest. So maybe she was just feeling the distance. That's what I told myself. But that one night changed everything. So it was a Thursday. I remember that because Thursdays were usually our night. Order in, dumb rom-com, maybe a little something before bed. But that night she wasn't really in the mood for any of it. Barely touched her food, scrolled on her phone, and when I suggested a movie, she just kinda shrugged and said, "I'm tired. Let's just go to bed." All right, cool. No problem. I was tired too. We got in bed, lights off, and I lay there for a while, thinking. You know how your brain starts racing the second you're trying to fall asleep? Yeah, that was me. I could hear her breathing, soft and slow, like she was already asleep. But maybe 20 minutes in, I hear her phone buzz. She doesn't move for a second, probably checking if I'm out cold. I keep my breathing slow, steady. I'm not gonna lie, I was kinda curious. Something about the way she moved just set off my radar. Then I feel her shift beside me, super slow, like she's trying not to wake me. She grabs her phone off the nightstand and quietly slips out of bed. She tiptoes into the living room. But the thing is, our walls are paper thin. And when you live with someone long enough, you learn their voice modes. Emily had a certain way of whispering when she was being sneaky, a mix of giddy and guilty. So yeah, I got out of bed, quiet as hell, stood by the door just enough to hear. I didn't even mean to eavesdrop at first. I just needed to know if I was losing my mind. And then I heard her say it. No, he's still asleep. He's so sweet, honestly. But yeah, he's just a temporary upgrade. I froze. She laughed, like full-on giggled. I know, right? I swear it's almost too easy. Like, he thinks I'm gonna move in with him long-term. Babe, please. I'm just stacking a few things and once Ryan's ready, I'm out. Ryan. Who the hell is Ryan? I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. You ever stand so still your own heartbeat feels loud? That was me. Standing there in the dark, listening to my girlfriend tell her friend how I'm just a stepping stone. A little cash cow. A placeholder. She kept talking like I wasn't even real. He still pays for everything. I just told him I'm behind on some student loans. LOL. He offered to help without me even asking. I did. I really did. I covered her car note. Her half of the rent. I even paid off some credit card things she said was emergency vet bills. But apparently, I was just a walking wallet. No, we don't even do it that much anymore. He's kind of clingy, but I just act tired. Works every time. I stood there for another minute, maybe two, just processing. My body felt numb. She was still on the call, walking around, laughing. Then she said, "Okay, I'm heading back to bed. He's probably drooling on the pillow like a puppy." I flew back into bed and pulled the covers up just in time. She came back and like nothing happened, slipped in beside me, warm and soft, and whispered, "Good night, baby." Then she kissed me on the cheek. I didn't say a word. I just laid there, staring into the dark. But in my head, I was already planning everything. The next morning, I woke up before her. Or at least, I pretended to. I got out of bed, stretched like nothing happened, and walked into the kitchen to make coffee, just like I always do. I had this numb, floaty feeling in my chest. My brain was screaming, but my face? Completely calm. She came in wearing my hoodie, hair a mess, and smiled like she hadn't spent the night plotting her exit strategy behind my back. "Morning," she said, yawning. I kissed her on the forehead. "Morning, babe." She had no idea I knew. You ever look at someone and see them differently all of a sudden? Like, really see them? Every time she spoke that day, it was like I could hear the lie behind it. Every "I love you" sounded like static. Every touch felt rehearsed. I caught myself watching her like a stranger, studying her patterns. When she grabbed my phone by accident, when she fake laughed at a meme, When she told me she had to run errands, but didn't take her wallet, all of it clicked in a way it never had before. And that name, Ryan, kept bouncing around my skull like a loaded gun. So I did what any rational, emotionally stable guy would do. I smiled and started building a secret folder on my computer labeled Work Docs. Step 1 was playing dumb. No changes in my behavior. I still sent her cute texts. Still bought her favorite coffee. Still made dinner. If she thought she was using me, I wanted her to keep thinking that. I needed time. Time to dig. Time to plan. Time to hit her where it would really hurt. Step 2? Start collecting the truth. I became hyper-aware of everything. Her habits, her stories, the way she left her phone face down but never locked. I memorized her unlock pattern one lazy afternoon when she thought I was watching Netflix. Once I had access, man, that rabbit hole was deep. There were DMs with Ryan. Flirty, gross, obnoxious stuff. The kind that made my stomach flip. Can't wait till we don't have to pretend anymore. He's still paying for my stuff. I'll squeeze what I can before the move, lol. Squeeze what she can. From me? There were Cash App requests to her cousin that weren't her cousin. There were photos, ones she'd taken in our apartment, in my hoodie, but sent to someone else. There were emails, plans, looking at apartments. With Ryan. I copied it all. Screenshots, voice memos, even screen recordings while I scrolled. I created backups, encrypted the folder, and kept it on a hidden drive. This wasn't just a breakup moment anymore. It was a freaking operation. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, she gave me the best gift ever. She said we should celebrate our anniversary soon. Let's do something special, she said, eyes all wide and innocent. Like a fancy dinner. You choose. Oh, I'll choose, all right. I booked the table that night. Not just for me and her, but for me, her best friend, and Ryan. They didn't know yet. But soon, they were all going to be at the same table. And the menu? Revenge. Served cold. So after Emily floated the idea of an anniversary dinner, all smiles and butterflies, like she wasn't literally lining up a new guy behind my back, I told her, yeah, let's do something big this year. She looked surprised, honestly, like she didn't expect me to care that much. I think she was already mentally packing her bags. Probably figured this would be our little final chapter before she dipped out and moved in with Mr. Sidepiece. But I had other plans. I made the reservation at this upscale restaurant downtown. Real slick place, white tablecloths, waiters in black vests, one of those joints where the menu doesn't show the prices, which is code for, you're going to suffer financially. But for this, worth every penny. I picked a Saturday night, a little over a week out. Gave myself just enough time to put the final pieces in place. While Emily was at yoga, aka doing God knows what with Ryan, I was in my villain arc. First thing I did was track down Ryan. No, not in real life. I wasn't about to roll up on him like some jealous boyfriend. Nah, too obvious, too risky. I made a fake account. Generic name, 0 posts, default profile pic. Slid into his DMs posing as a potential roommate for one of the places he was looking at. Thanks to Emily's email threads, I already knew the neighborhoods, dates, even one specific unit number. We chatted a bit. I made sure to drop Emily's name casually, like, hey, is this the place you're moving into with that girl, Emily? He replied, haha yeah, just waiting for her lease to end. You know how it is. Gotcha. Confirmed. Official. No speculation. Ryan was in on it. Next target, her best friend, the one from the FaceTime call. Now this part. It took finesse. I messaged her from another fake account. This time, pretending to be someone who knew Emily from work and wanted to plan something special for her. Claimed we were doing a surprise thank you dinner for Emily and her close ones for helping with a project. Total nonsense. But I knew this girl loved attention and free wine. She bought it. Sent me her email. RSVP'd faster than you could say snake. Now all 3 of them were coming to the same dinner. They just didn't know they'd be meeting each other. Now the last piece, the delivery system. See, I wasn't just going to sit there and say, gotcha, and drop a dramatic speech. That's weak. Too short-lived. No, I wanted lasting damage. Psychological fireworks. Something they'd remember every time their phone buzzed. So I put together a shared Google Drive folder called The Truth. Inside, screenshots of texts between Emily and Ryan. Bank statements she used for shady stuff. Photos she sent him from our apartment. A screen recording of her whispering that temporary upgrade line. A spreadsheet labeled every lie she told me. I scheduled it to be emailed to all three of them mid-dinner. 7:45 p.m. sharp. Each of them would get a notification at the same time. Each of them would open that link at the table. And I'd be sitting right there, sipping wine. And just to twist the knife, I bought her a necklace. Something small, but expensive looking. Wrapped it in a velvet box. Wrote a little note that said, "For our last anniversary together. You earned it." I couldn't wait to watch her open it. That week, I was on Oscar-winning performance mode. Sweet texts. Surprise coffee. Told her how grateful I was. Said I couldn't wait for our special night. And she ate it up. She even posted a little story like, "Can't wait for Saturday, I have the best man ever." You sure do, sweetheart. At least for now. Saturday night. She walked out of the bedroom looking like she was about to accept a marriage proposal. Hair curled, heels on, black dress I bought her for her birthday. Yeah, that one. "How do I look?" she asked, spinning slightly. I smiled like a proud boyfriend. "Perfect. Let's make this a night to remember." And oh, it would be. We got to the restaurant around 7:15 p.m. I was nervous, not gonna lie, but not the usual kind. I wasn't scared of what might happen. I was hyped for what would. The hostess led us to the table. A beautiful four-top, white cloth, little candle in the middle. I told Emily I invited two of my co-workers who helped me with a project, and they'd be stopping by later to toast with us. She bought it, smiled, nodded, asked if she should act professional. I said nah, just be herself. Please, just be yourself. At 7:28 p.m., her best friend walked in. You could see the flicker of confusion on her face when she spotted us. She tried to play it cool, but her smile stuttered when she saw Emily. Emily blinked, obviously not expecting her. "Wait, what are you doing here? Didn't you say this was for work?" her friend said, still playing dumb. I jumped in quick. "It is. You're both part of it, don't worry. Just sit. Relax." Emily laughed it off awkwardly. Probably thought I was setting up some weird group surprise or trying to impress her with networking. She had no idea what was coming. 7:34 p.m. Right on cue. Ryan walks in. You know that look someone gets when their soul leaves their body for a sec? That was Emily. Straight panic. Like she'd just seen a ghost, wearing designer sneakers and holding a reservation slip. What the hell is he doing here?" she hissed. "Wait, why are you here?" Ryan said, stopping mid-step. I stood up, gave him a big fake grin, and gestured to the table. "Ryan, right? Come on, have a seat. You're just in time." No one moved. Emily was full-on glitching. "Jake, what's going on?" I sat down slowly, smoothed the napkin across my lap, and said, "Don't worry. Everything will be clear in just a minute." 7:45 p.m. Ding. One notification. Then another. Then another. All their phones lit up at once. I watched their eyes drop to their screens. Watched their faces twist, sink, drop. Emily went pale. Her best friend mouthed, "Oh my God." Ryan's jaw literally tightened like he was trying not to flip the whole damn table. Nobody said a word. They just scrolled. Each of them reading the truth I'd been holding on to like a lit match. Every lie. Every message. Every little bit of proof. Emily looked up at me slowly, blinking fast. What is this?" I leaned forward just a little. "Just a collection of memories. I figured if you're gonna lie to all of us, it's only fair we find out together." Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked at Ryan, who was now staring at her like she was a complete stranger. "You said you broke up with him," he muttered. "You said he was." "I didn't know you were saving texts like that," her friend cut in, voice low and disgusted. Emily started to cry. Like, full waterworks. Whispering apologies. Blaming me. Blaming stress. Even tried to say, "You're blowing this out of proportion." I picked up the little black box from my jacket. Set it on the table. She stared at it like it was a bomb. "What is that?" she asked. "Your gift," I said. She opened it slowly, and inside was the necklace I'd bought her. Tucked under it, folded neatly, was the note. "For our last anniversary together. You earned it." I stood up, buttoned my jacket, and dropped the final line. "Thanks for teaching me how to spot a snake. Dinner's on me." And I walked out. Didn't run. Didn't look back. Just left them sitting there in silence, surrounded by fine wine and the burning wreckage of her lies. So walking out of that restaurant, top 3 moments of my life. The air felt different. Crisp. Charged. Like the universe itself whispered, "Well played, my guy." I didn't go straight home. I walked for a bit. Got ice cream like a psychopath who just ended a relationship and exposed 3 people in one sitting. Sat on a bench, phone in hand, just waiting. And sure enough, it started buzzing. First message, Emily. Jake, please call me. Please. It's not what you think. Then, okay, I know how it looks, but I didn't mean for this to happen. Then, you're scaring me. Just talk to me. Then, you really ruined everything. Oh, I ruined everything? Blocked. Next up, the best friend. She didn't even defend Emily. Her message was basically, dude, that was savage. I honestly didn't know how bad it was. I'm so sorry. We talked, briefly. She told me Emily had always kind of bent the truth, but she never realized how far it went until she saw the receipts in real time. She'd actually thought Emily and Ryan had already broken up when she encouraged her to date me. So much for girl code. I didn't block her, but we haven't spoken since. Some bridges just don't need rebuilding. Now Ryan, oh boy, he didn't text me. He called me. 4 times. Then I get a voicemail. I kid you not, this man said, yo, I didn't even know she was still with you, bro. I wouldn't have touched her if I knew. I feel like a damn clown. Honestly, he sounded broken. Guess she played us both. Only difference is, I don't stay played. Meanwhile, Emily went radio silent for about a day. And just when I thought she finally gave up, she hits me with a new number. Jake, please, just one conversation. I owe you that. You don't have to take me back. I need to explain myself. I need closure. Closure? You want closure? All right, here's your closure. I posted a vague story on my socials. Just a black screen with the words. You can only use someone for so long before they snap. Ask her how dinner went. Didn't name names. Didn't need to. People put the pieces together fast. A few of our mutuals unfollowed her. One of her exes even DM'd me like. She pulled the same stunt on me, man. Glad someone finally got her back. Days passed. Then weeks. She tried again. More fake accounts. Burner texts. One email that literally said, please don't let me be the villain in your story. But here's the thing. You are the villain. And I'm not rewriting my story to protect your ego. So I did what villains hate the most. I ignored her into oblivion. I moved out of that apartment a week later. Lease was under my name. She never even saw it coming. I packed her stuff neatly, left it with a friend, and changed the locks before she could blink. She showed up one day, banged on the door. I didn't even open it. Just slipped a note under the crack. You had your moment. This one's mine. So it had been maybe a month since the dinner. By that point, Emily had officially ghosted from social media. No more couple selfies. No more my king captions under stolen photos of my dog. Her digital footprint was shrinking fast, probably because the whole fallout turned her circle upside down. She lost friends. She lost Ryan. And yeah, she lost me. But karma? Karma was just getting warmed up. So remember how I said I posted that vague Insta story? Just to ask her how dinner went line? Well, turns out, someone did. Her job. Apparently, she had a little side hustle going where she'd been using my money to fund some consulting brand on the side. Like, making business cards, hosting events, getting headshots. All with the cash she'd guilt me into handing over. The twist? She'd been using my name as a reference. My actual name. My contact info. She told people I was her co-founder. So when all this blew up and people started connecting dots, someone in her small business circle reached out to me, curious about the drama. Hey, man, weird question. Are you still working with Emily on that project? Saw something online. I responded with pure facts. I was never working with her. I was just the guy paying for everything while she cheated on me. He left me on read. The next day, she got dropped from 2 networking groups she was part of. One even made a post about values and honesty in leadership. I didn't even have to lift a finger. But wait, it gets better. A few weeks later, I get tagged in a TikTok. Yeah, a TikTok. Some girl posted a story time about her friend who got humiliated at a fancy dinner after getting exposed for cheating on her boyfriend. And someone in the comments literally said, bro, this sounds like that Emily girl from our city. I heard she was Wildant. Her name was never mentioned in the TikTok. Didn't need to be. That's when I realized her reputation wasn't just dead. It was being buried. By the internet. By her friends. By people who had no idea who I even was. Just that she was that girl who got roasted over steak and wine. As for me, I got my piece. And then some. I moved into a better place, got my finances in order, and even started seeing someone new. Slowly, carefully, but honestly this time. And guess what? She pays for her own coffee. Last I heard, Emily moved to a different city. New job, new name on socials, trying to hit reset. But no matter how far she goes, she'll always remember that one dinner. That one night she thought she had it all, until her temporary upgrade turned out to be the final boss. TLDR? She whispered about using me while I pretended to sleep. I smiled, waited, and watched her burn everything down, with a little help from Karma and a Google Drive folder. Thanks for reading, Reddit. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes, the best revenge is just letting them watch you leave with a smile.